Matt, this morning on today's American Story with Bob Dotson, a man who began to see the day he went blind.
Photography may be the least likely career for a man who is totally blind. But Pete Eckert believes you don't have to see to have a vision of what life can be.
I found that my other senses brought enough information to my mind's eye to establish some kind of link to the outside world, a visual link.
He shoots in familiar places, places he'd been before going blind. A Braille compass helps him find the light. Pete memorizes the room, making mental notes of where sounds bounce off corners.
So when I hear something, I automatically translate it into visual image.
Now he can sort of see sound.
It doesn't have anything to do with traditional vision. You know, I can see it in front of my eyes, but I can also see through my skull and see, like right now I can see my fingers moving.
Blindness rewired his brain to feel the sounds that bounce off bones, sort of like an X-ray.
My voice bouncing off the walls behind you wraps around you as it returns to me and gives me a silhouette of your shape.
I'm right here.
Pete can tell where to place his camera and frame his shot simply by following the outline of that sound.
Simple stuff.
Not so simple. I've taken pictures for years. The heads still keep getting chopped off.
I'm going to draw over your image right now with the laser.
He works in darkness and paints with light,
I'm going to leave some free space there, and you're right there.
creating an image like no other. Pete's art so impressed Susan Finkelman, she asked him to create a portrait at her wedding, entrusting the biggest moment of her life to a blind man.
It's a spiritual moment under a spiritual canopy, and Pete's photography captures what no other photograph could have possibly done.
Susan's husband, Joe, a professional photographer, helps Pete pick the right pictures.
It looks like there's a ghost image.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay.
All right.
While it's still fresh in his mind's eye, Pete scratches more detail on the negative, adding what only a blind man can see.
I'm not trying to express your world. I'm trying to express my world.
What do you see now that you didn't see when you had your sight?
The value of life.
Pete was just 28 when he began to go blind. Doctors diagnosed retinitis pigmentosa, an eye disease that adds a layer of darkness every day.
Before his sight faded, Pete raced to prepare, earned college degrees in sculpture, ceramics, and design. For fun, he became a black belt in the art of self-defense, then challenged non-believers to fight him.
There's a lot worse things that can happen to you than blindness. If you spend too much time, crying, you're going to miss it.
All of us see selectively. We filter sight through emotion, ignore what does not interest us. Pete Eckert walks a dozen miles a day, searching for anything that will light the darkness of his mind. Even the small sounds we overlook. Perhaps that's why his pictures are so stunning. He sees more than most. For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, with an American Story in Sacramento, California.
Beautiful pictures, I think.
It's wild.
And instructive in terms of what we don't see in our own lives. Anyway, coming up next, a man who says he can read your baby's mind after your local news.
Tomorrow, live from Cuba, an unprecedented broadcast. Matt Lauer on Today. A rare look inside Castro's Cuba on Today on NBC.
Friday, Rihanna. A good girl gone bad. Hot and rockin' the plaza. A Toyota summer concert. Only on Today on NBC.